if we have a look at how attackers have been evolved in the last 10-15 years, recently we can see that most of them they focus more and more in human more than machines. This happens in two different, I would say myself simplifying a bit, but in two different ways, which is one is the selective intrusion, and the other one is what is called e-crime. Why I try to simplify that way? Because selective intrusion are those kind of attackers that mainly sponsored by government and countries. So I'm sure that all of us, they recently read in newspapers about China, North Korea, Iran and Russia, and those kind of countries that have been involved in that. An e-crime and all kind of cyber attacks that they are looking specifically for a short-term economic benefit. So if we look at this simply way of simplify the attackers, we can see that e-crime in the last 24 months have increased about 4 times, whilst the solution intrusion is basically steady. So when we say it steady, the part where we can clearly identify where the attacker is from, whilst the anonymously attackers have increased also in the selective intrusion. So if we focus on the e-crime is, once again, is anything which is related to short-time benefit. We will see that employees in the human being specifically, it's a key target. And even today, the main vector which is used to approach employees, it's still today phishing. So that means the email. So if we think about email, if we think about social security, if we think about SMS and even calls, there is a big chunk of or a big hole of knowledge between what the attackers they're looking for and how prepared is the person by receiving these kind of approaches. How important is then today make sure that this person, which are the key ring in the value chain of the company, can represent a unifying barrier in order to be sure that everybody is ready and prepared for that. So humans are more and more important, but even today, most of the companies, especially in the European country, they dedicate less than 9% of the budget to security. And still security today, there's make a lot of improvements. So in the last 5 years, we can see, for instance, many chief information security officer or CIO, which have a seat in the board. So that means that those kind of corporation, they have clear understood how important is security for the business continuity and for the business itself, for the corporation. But still, most of them, they're not dedicating or paying enough attention to the security as a key part of the business continuity. Yeah, on those companies which take some lead on the security side, today they already realized that it's not a security matter, it's a company matter, it's a board matter, it's a CEO matter. So it doesn't really matter who will take the lead of implementing the cybersecurity or security policy within the organization. It will be more and more important that the board will be involved and make sure that all the organization or all departments within the same organization will collaborate in order to reach a common goal. How this will happen, again, going through the involvement of any kind of employee. And, you know, because we are part of the technology, we are more familiar with technology, we are more, let's say, open to listen to some kind of educational process and conversation. We can keep follow conversation, but if you go on other departments, it's a pain. So we come up with with different problems by making sure that those employees will be really collaborating actively by defending the company by potential attackers. Attackers today, although they're still using malware, ransomware, and whatsoever, if you think about phishing today, emails and social networking, they try to approach you without any specific attachment, without any specific URL embedded in the way they want to communicate. So that makes even more difficult to detect where the danger is coming from. If the person you're speaking with is a trusted person, of course, their job is to make sure that you can trust them. And by trusting them, they can be an identity threat first. And there is a very structured organization behind. They resell the identity to somebody else who will take care and they will try to monetize this information. So if we understand that and we make sure that we really want to approach and make sure that people, when receiving information, at least if it is somewhat suspicious, they're prepared to react properly. Well, this is a big task, this is a big job, and this is what the company should pursue within their organization. So how can do that? There are a few services that have born in the last 5 years that they deliver content. The problem is that this content is like most of the time the same content for everybody. It doesn't take in consideration the knowledge level of the person who's speaking with, so or communicating to. So that means that the retention and the engagement of this person, it's not the same. It depends on multiple factors. So one of the things that we should consider anytime we deliver this kind of information is how this information is prepared to receive what we would like to deliver, make sure that they retain the information, and also make sure and make a proper follow-up progress to ensure that this person, it also will be committed with the organization in order to collaborate. If we think about if this is a matter of the cybersecurity company, or this is a matter of the company itself, I strongly believe it's a CEO message that should be, it's a message, is a top-down message. CEO should be lead cybersecurity within the organization, because cybersecurity is key for productivity, can really destroy one full year of revenue if they don't really take care about this. Apart from all the security and policy and data protection, which is related to this topic, they should be taken in consideration. So basically, CEO, board level, it's a condition that should be a top-down. Collaboration within all the departments can be led by one specific group or team of people, but then these team of people, they definitely need tools in order to deliver that level of knowledge amongst all employees and make sure that everybody is in line, prepared to work safely every day. If we think about new factors, there are several factors that we can see. Maybe, of course, there are several causes, and I also heard some interview where they speak about the burnout, how people are burned out today, the stress, how stress is life, and stress is a key factor in the cybersecurity. Of course it is, as it is everywhere, and it has to be managed. And it can be one of the factors that can produce at a critical point some breaches, security breaches within the organization. So take care of this part. It's not an easy task, but companies should really consider to take care of.